before you buy one more jar of anything, I need you to give me the next few minutes of your attention because what I'm about to show you costs less than a cup of coffee, and it's probably already sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. I'm a board-certified dermatologist. I've spent 26 years looking at older skin under magnification, under scanners, under bright clinical light. And if there's one thing that still frustrates me after all these years, it's watching a 70-year-old woman on a fixed income hand over $90 for a 2-ounce jar of cream that, biologically speaking, cannot reach the layer where her wrinkles are actually forming. That's not an opinion. That's just anatomy. And while you're here, if you're over 60 and you want honest medical information without the sales pitch, please subscribe. It genuinely helps this channel reach more seniors. Now here's the part the beauty counter will never say out loud. Wrinkles do not form on the surface of your skin. They form underneath it in the dermis, in a layer of collagen and elastin fibers that most creams simply cannot penetrate. The molecules are too large. It's like trying to water a garden by spraying the fence. What actually reaches the dermis is what travels through your bloodstream, which means the most powerful anti-wrinkle tool you have isn't in a bottle with a gold cap. It's the spoon in your kitchen drawer. And the thing I want you to put on that spoon is high polyphenol, cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. I know exactly what you're thinking. That's it? That's the big secret. Yes, and stay with me because in a randomized clinical study published in 2024, participants who consistently took in the 2 key polyphenols found in real extra virgin olive oil showed an average 23% reduction in wrinkle count. In women between 45 and 79, the average reduction was closer to 34%. In men in that same age range, it reached 46%. Those aren't marketing numbers written by a copywriter. Those were counted wrinkles measured on real faces. And this is the whole reason I'm making this video, the spoon only works if you use it correctly. Most people who try this get almost nothing out of it because they buy the wrong oil, store it the wrong way, take it at the wrong time, and pair it with the wrong foods. So today, I'm giving you 7 things I teach my own patients, counting down from number 7, and I want you to stay until number 1 especially, because number 1 is a pairing so simple it sounds ridiculous. And without it, your body physically cannot build new collagen no matter how much oil you swallow. That's not a metaphor. It's a hard biochemical requirement, and almost nobody talks about it. All of this comes from published, peer-reviewed research. Don't take my word for anything. Read it yourself. Before we start, tell me in the comments, what bothers you most right now? Is it the lines around your mouth, the crepey skin on your neck, or the crow's feet around your eyes? I read every comment personally, and your answers shape what I film next. Let's begin with number 7. Number 7, the morning spoon taken slow on an empty stomach. This is the foundation, and the timing matters more than people expect. First thing in the morning, before coffee, before breakfast, take 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. Not a capsule, not a light or pure olive oil, which is refined and stripped, the real thing, greened from a dark bottle. Here's why. Extra virgin olive oil contains 2 compounds called oleocanthal and olisine. Oleocanthal is remarkable. It works on the same inflammatory enzyme pathway that ibuprofen works on, the COX pathway, just gently and continuously instead of all at once. And chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the primary engines of skin aging. Researchers actually have a name for it now, inflammaging. It's the slow, invisible burn that activates enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, and those enzymes go through your collagen like scissors through thread, every day, for decades. Olisine does the other half of the job. It's a powerful antioxidant that neutralizes free radicals before they can damage the fibroblasts, the cells whose entire job is manufacturing new collagen for you. So 1 spoon in the morning does 2 things at once. It turns down the enzymes destroying your collagen, and it protects the cells that rebuild it. Less demolition, more construction. Take it slowly. Let it coat your mouth and throat rather than knocking it back like medicine. And take it on an empty stomach so nothing competes with absorption. One of my patients, Marilyn, 68, a retired postal clerk, told me she'd rather spend her money on her grandchildren than on serums. I gave her this exact instruction. 12 weeks later, her skin scan showed improved dermal density, and she said the thing I hear most often, people keep asking if I've been sleeping better. Up next, number 6 turns that same spoon into a nighttime treatment you apply directly to your face. And there's one mistake almost everyone makes with it. Number 6, The night application done on damp skin, yes, you can put it on your face, but how you do it changes everything. Olive oil contains squalene, which is a lipid your own skin produces naturally. Here's the sad part of the story. Your body's squalene production drops sharply after your 30s, and by 70 it's a fraction of what it once was. That's a large part of why older skin feels tight, thin, papery. The barrier is leaking moisture into the air all day long. Dermatologists call that transepidermal water loss, and dehydrated skin doesn't just feel dry, it makes every existing line look deeper and sharper than it actually is. Olive oil is one of the closest natural matches to your skin's own lipid profile, along with vitamin E and vitamin K. Here's the technique, and this is the part people get wrong. Applying oil to bone-dry skin does almost nothing but sit there. Instead, wash your face with lukewarm water at night, pat it until it's still slightly damp, then warm 3 or 4 drops between your palms and press. Don't rub, press into your cheeks, your jawline, your neck, and the backs of your hands. The oil traps the water that's already on your skin, sealing it in. Skip the eyelids if you're prone to milia, and if you're acne prone, keep it to the neck and hands only because olive oil can be too heavy for some faces. Dolores, 73, a retired nurse, had what she called tissue paper skin on her forearms and neck. 3 weeks of the damp press method and the creepy texture had visibly softened. She stopped buying her $40 body lotion entirely. Up next, number 5 is a swap, not something you add, something you remove, and it may be the single fastest change on this list. Number 5, the swap that stops sugar from stiffening your face. I want to explain something called glycation because once you understand it, you'll never look at your cooking the same way. When you eat a lot of sugar and refined carbohydrates, excess sugar molecules in your bloodstream attach themselves to your collagen fibers permanently. The result is a compound called an advanced glycation end product, and researchers gave it the acronym AGE, which is honestly a little too perfect. Once collagen is glycated, it becomes stiff, brittle, yellowish, and it loses its ability to spring back. That's the difference between skin that bounces and skin that creases and stays creased. Cooking method matters enormously here. High, dry heat. Deep frying, searing in solid fat, anything blackened, creates these compounds in food and you absorb them directly. So the swap is this. Replace butter, margarine, and cheap refined seed oils with extra virgin olive oil for your everyday cooking. Cook at lower temperatures. And yes, before someone writes it in the comments, extra virgin olive oil is perfectly stable for normal home cooking. Its high antioxidant content and monounsaturated structure make it far more heat resistant than the internet claims. The Mediterranean has been frying in it for 3,000 years. Add a spoon over roasted vegetables, over soup, over eggs. The oil also slows how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream from that meal, which means fewer glucose spikes, which means less glycation attacking the collagen you still have. Harold, 71, a retired mechanic, made only this one change, no other habits. 6 months later, his fasting glucose had improved, and his wife told me his face looked less puffy and more like himself. That's inflammation and glycation both easing at once. Before we get to number 4, if this is useful to you, take 1 second and hit like and subscribe. It's free and it tells me to keep making videos for seniors instead of chasing whatever's trending. Thank you, genuinely. Number 4, the spoon plus cooked tomato, the pairing that protects against sun damage from the inside. This one is my favorite piece of science on the entire list, and it comes from a proper randomized controlled trial published in the British Journal of Dermatology. Researchers gave healthy adults 40 grams a day, roughly 2.5 tablespoons, of tomato paste mixed with olive oil for 10 to 12 weeks. Then they exposed skin to controlled ultraviolet light and compared it to a control group who got olive oil alone. The tomato paste group showed roughly a 40% reduction in UV-induced redness. But the biopsies are where it gets genuinely exciting. In the tomato group, levels of the collagen-destroying enzyme MMP1 went down and fibrillin-1, a protein essential to your skin's elastic scaffolding, the one that's badly damaged in sun-aged skin, actually increased. That is not preventing further damage. That is measurable repair of existing photoaging from food. Here's the mechanism and here's why the spoon is essential. The active compound is lycopene and lycopene is fat soluble. Eat a raw tomato by itself and you absorb a small fraction of it. Cook the tomato. Heat breaks down the cell walls and converts lycopene into a form your body handles far better. and then add fat, and absorption climbs several times over. So the protocol is cook tomato in any form you like. Tomato paste, tomato sauce, stewed tomatoes, tomato soup, and a tablespoon of olive oil stirred in. 2 or 3 times a week is plenty. Frank, 76, spent 40 years as a roofer in the Arizona sun. He came to me expecting bad news, and he got some. Sun damage doesn't disappear. But he added this pairing to his lunch, and at his 1-year follow-up, his skin texture readings had improved rather than declined for the first time in the years I'd been tracking him. At 76, it genuinely surprised both of us. Up next, number 3 is about your dinner plate, and it explains why a healthy meal can leave your skin starving. Number 3, the spoon over your greens, because dry salad is a wasted meal. I need you to hear this clearly, especially if you're someone who's been eating carefully for years and wondering why your skin hasn't reflected it. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble. So are the carotenoids lutein, zeaxanthin, beta-carotene, the pigments in spinach, kale, carrots, sweet potato, red peppers. Fat-soluble means exactly what it sounds like. Without dietary fat present in that same meal, your intestines simply cannot pull them across into your bloodstream. They pass straight through you. Researchers have tested this directly. When people ate salads with fat-free dressing versus salads with real fat, the absorption of carotenoids in the fat-free group was close to negligible, nearly all of it wasted. And these compounds matter for skin specifically. Beta-carotene converts to vitamin A, the family that retinol belongs to, the single best evidenced anti-wrinkle molecule in all of dermatology. Vitamin E protects your cell membranes from oxidation. Vitamin K supports the small vessels that feed your face. So here's the instruction. Every single time you eat vegetables, put a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil on them. Salad, steamed greens, roasted vegetables, doesn't matter. And please throw away the fat-free dressing. It's one of the most counterproductive products ever marketed to older adults. Gloria, 69, had eaten a large dry salad every day for 11 years, no dressing, for her figure. Her blood work showed low vitamin E and low carotenoid levels despite that diet. We changed nothing except adding the oil. 4 months later, her levels had normalized and her skin tone had noticeably evened out. Same food, just finally absorbed. Up next, number 2 is the reason most people get 0 results from this, and you can test for it in 3 seconds with your own throat. Number 2, the peppery sting test and how to stop your oil from dying in the cupboard. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Much of the olive oil sold in ordinary supermarkets is old, over-processed, poorly stored, or blended with cheaper oils, and an olive oil without polyphenols is just a fat, a perfectly fine fat, but it will not do what I described in the last 6 sections. So how do you tell? Your own body has a test built in, and it's beautifully specific. Take a small sip of the oil and swallow it. If it's genuinely high in oleocanthal, you'll feel a distinct peppery burn or tickle at the back of your throat. Sometimes it makes you cough. In Sicily, they actually grade oil by how many coughs it produces. That sting is not an impurity or a sign the oil has gone bad. It's oleocanthal binding to a receptor found almost nowhere else in your body except the back of your throat. No sting, no polyphenols. It's that direct. That cough is the medicine announcing itself. Now, buying it, look for a dark green or brown glass bottle, never clear, never plastic. Look for a harvest date, not just a best by date, and try to stay within 18 months of harvest. Cold pressed. And extra virgin should both appear. Single origin oils tend to be more reliable than vague blends. And storage. This is where people quietly destroy what they paid for. Polyphenols degrade with light, heat, and oxygen. One analysis found oleocanthal levels dropped roughly 60% over 2 years of ordinary storage, and olecine around 75%. So keep the bottle in a cool, dark cupboard, never beside the stove, never on a sunny windowsill, and close the cap tightly every time. Buy smaller bottles and finish them within a couple of months. One of my patients did everything right for 8 months with no results whatsoever. Then she brought me her bottle. Clear plastic, no harvest date, stored on the counter above her oven. We switched her to a proper oil and the difference showed up within 6 weeks. And now, number 1, the pairing my patients laugh at. The one that costs almost nothing, that you probably already have in your kitchen, and without which everything else on this list is running at half power. Number 1, take your spoon with vitamin C. Let me explain why this is number 1, because when you understand the biochemistry, you'll never separate them again. Your body builds collagen through a process with a mandatory step. 2 enzymes, prolyl hydroxylase and lysyl hydroxylase. have to chemically modify the amino acids proline and lysine before those strands can twist together into the strong triple helix that gives your skin its structure. And here's the part almost nobody knows: those two enzymes require vitamin C as a cofactor, not benefit from, require. Without adequate vitamin C, the collagen your fibroblast produce is unstable and falls apart. This is not a supplement company's theory. It's why sailors with scurvy had wounds that reopened and skin that broke down. Scurvy is, at its core, a collagen manufacturing failure. And while true scurvy is rare today, marginal vitamin C intake is genuinely common in adults over 65. Appetite drops, fresh produce gets expensive and harder to carry home, and vitamin C is water soluble, so your body stores almost none of it. You need it fresh every day. So here's the protocol, and it takes no extra time. Whenever you take your morning spoon, take it alongside something rich in vitamin C: half a red bell pepper, a handful of strawberries, a kiwi, broccoli, and orange. Red peppers actually beat citrus by a wide margin, which surprises most people. The olive oil supplies the anti-inflammatory protection that stops your collagen from being broken down. The vitamin C supplies the tool your cells need to build new collagen. One protects, one constructs, alone each does something. Together they close the loop, and there's a bonus. Vitamin C is also a potent antioxidant in its own right, and it partially regenerates vitamin E after vitamin E has been used up, neutralizing a free radical. So they recycle each other. Your body is elegant like that when you give it what it needs. Eleanor, 74, a retired librarian, had been taking olive oil faithfully for 5 months and told me she'd seen a little something. Maybe we changed one thing: a small bowl of strawberries or a few slices of red pepper with her morning spoon. At her 10-week follow-up, her dermal density scan had improved measurably, and the vertical lines above her lip had softened enough that she noticed before I did. She brought her sister to the next appointment. That's the whole secret. Not a rare ingredient, a pairing. So let's put it all together. 7 steps, 1 spoon. The morning tablespoon on an empty stomach, taken slowly, to quiet the inflammation that's been dissolving your collagen for decades. The nighttime press onto damp skin to rebuild the lipid barrier your body stopped making. The cooking swap that stops sugar from stiffening the collagen you still have. The cooked tomato pairing that has actually been shown to raise the elastic scaffolding proteins in sun-damaged skin. The spoon over every plate of vegetables so the nutrients you're already paying for actually reach your bloodstream. The peppery sting test and proper storage, so you're getting real medicine instead of expensive salad dressing. And the vitamin C pairing that turns raw material into finished collagen. I want to be honest with you, because you deserve honesty more than you deserve hype. This will not erase 30 years in 30 days. Nothing will, and anyone promising that is selling something. What the research consistently shows is measurable change beginning somewhere around 8 to 12 weeks, and continuing to build the longer you stay with it. That's slower than a cream promises. But unlike a cream, this reaches the layer where wrinkles actually live, and it's also lowering your inflammation, supporting your heart, and steadying your blood sugar while it works. Your face is simply the part you can see. One quick note: if you take blood thinners, if you have gallbladder disease, or if you're managing a chronic condition, please run this past your own physician first. A tablespoon of oil is about 120 calories, so swap it in for another fat rather than piling it on top. Your skin has not given up on you. I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. Those lines aren't a verdict. They're a conversation, your skin telling you what it's been missing. Fat it can use. Antioxidants it can absorb. The specific vitamin it needs to finish the job. Give it those 3 things consistently and it will respond, because that's what living tissue does. Now tell me in the comments, do you already keep good olive oil in your kitchen? And are you going to try the throat sting test tonight? I want to know how many of you cough. I read every single one. And if this helped you, please send it to one person, a sister, a neighbor, a friend who's been quietly spending money she doesn't have on jars that were never going to work. She'll thank you. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because next week I'm covering the one common breakfast food that's quietly accelerating wrinkles in adults over 60. And almost everyone watching this eats it. You don't need to buy youth back. You just need to feed your skin what it's been asking for. Stay well, stay strong. I'll see you in the next one.